You used to lick batteries, didn't you, when you were a kid?
I've done way worse shit. Remember when I almost burnt down the fucking whole neighborhood here?
Oh, good people in strip club parking lots at 3 a.m.
Turn on the lights after, and it just looked like a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer murder scene in there. Like, holy fuck, like blood all over the place. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. Just driving through, and like I seen a guy making out with a tree.
Tom has the reputation of a drunken maniac who is wildly unprofessional.
We started the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, we've started the podcast?
We always start.
Holy fuck, are you
always
serious?
Start.
I thought you were just going on about the fucking Junos.
Yeah, I'm just jerking your chain for another 10 minutes.
We've started, eh?
We always start.
There's not a fucking roll on 2 or something?
Were you not just sitting here when I said start recording immediately?
No, I didn't fucking... I was waiting for it to start. We did a pilot for fucking, I think for DirecTV. About like a war show.
If you're in it, it'd be going direct to TV.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking, I couldn't fit into my costume, so they had to rewrite my part that I was fucking injured or whatever, and I was back.
What was your part? You're just like a regular soldier, and then they rewrote you into a fat soldier.
Yeah, well, I was injured, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. So I stayed back at the base and played ping pong and shit.
So you couldn't be in any of the war scenes?
I couldn't be in any of the war scenes. Which wasn't bad. I just got to sit and drink beer all day and shit, and the rest of the guys are rolling around in a fucking gravel pit.
You Donald Trumped a fake war. You dodged a fake war draft because you're out of shape.
Yeah.
That's probably the most accurate war movie ever made, if you think about it.
No, exactly.
Sons of Terra Nova. I remember what it was called.
Yeah, no, that was the one for CBC. That was a World War II or World War I one.
You were in a different one?
Yeah, he did 2 of them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never got the nod.
I don't know why he picked me. But
Well, that's cool.
This guy looks like he's been in a war.
War with a million beers.
Yeah.
It's funny when you get those little gigs in Canadian comedy, and they're not always glamorous, but that's good. That's an independent film too, and all good guys that are working on it. So
no, yeah, I just basically got chirped the whole fucking time. It was a good experience. I think they just brought me up there to be the punching bag, basically. Yeah, and people need to get it out, You're in a cottage.
You're always the prime target for. I like it though when like people who don't know Tom try and disrespect him, because it's a whole other vibe. Like they let. With you, if your friends are busting your balls, you know how to play along with it and go with it. Yeah. But if it's someone that's disrespecting that you don't like or you don't know, it's going to be a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I've got confrontational a couple times.
My favorite was there was a comedian named Greg Proops who's on like Whose Line Is It Anyway? He's got a popular podcast. Greg Proops is a good guy. Like I opened for him a couple times and he was super nice to me.
Looks like a gay poodle, but he's all right. He's an all right dude. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna fucking
just shave your head, buddy. Fuck it. Yeah. Get those curlers out of there. He probably puts curlers in before he goes to fucking sleep every night.
Does he have curly hair? I thought he sort of had like a little,
a
little coif
up there. Yeah, whatever.
I thought he had a coif.
Yeah, a queef more like it. Yeah.
So Greg Proops, really nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never met him, but I assume I was a fan of Whose Line Is It Anyway.
But anyway, he was in Toronto when we were doing our old podcast, and I was like, oh, I know the guy who's bringing him in, Ian, so I'm going to message Ian and see if Greg will come in on the podcast, because, it'd be kind of funny to get you together with Greg. Yeah. Because, I mean, Greg's podcast is called The World's Smartest Man, and you are Tom O'Donnell. Yeah. The opposite of the world's smartest man. Yeah. And I messaged Ian and I asked, and I get an email back from him saying, Tyler, I'm quite reluctant to send Greg Proops anywhere with Tom O'Donnell. Tom has the reputation of a drunken maniac who is wildly unprofessional.
No.
And I'm like, wow, that's a great reputation. Like I told you should put that on your tour poster.
Yeah.
He has the reputation of a drunken maniac who's wildly unprofessional. And yeah, he didn't want to send Greg Proops anywhere near you for fear that you would do something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so Tommy was actually really pissed off about it. And, I thought it was kind of funny. But about, would have been like 3 or 4 years later, we're over at Comedy Bar in Toronto. And we're sitting there. It was myself, Mike Wilmot, and Kate Davis, two hilarious Canadian comics. And Ian was sitting there. And sure enough, Tom rolls in. And he's pretty fucked up. Tom's pretty drunk. And comes
4
over.
a.m. drunk.
So what did you got in his face in front of everyone and made a scene? What were you thinking?
So I walked up to him and I'm like, I'm fucking wildly unprofessional, eh? And I'm fucking smashing, yeah.
Oh, you think I'm a drunken fucking
Case
maniac?
in point, Ian. Yeah, you got me. I am.
Oh yeah, just totally proved him right in every way, shape, and form.
No, it's funny though. I don't think he even does comedy anymore. But a couple of years ago, I was all drunk and I seen him pop up on Facebook.
Oh no!
And I messaged him asking. I just made this all up. I'm like, hey, do you want to produce a show? I got Pauly Shore coming down here, fucking Canada, producing a tour for him. He was all over it, and I just ghosted him. Wildly unprofessional. I don't know why I picked Pauly Shore. I don't know. Must have watched Son-in-Law that day or something. But
that's like the level of like guy that he would produce though. Like
I know he was all over it. He was like, "Fuck, that'd be fucking awesome." Blah, blah.
I think he's a nice guy. I actually always liked him, and I think he was dead on about you. And you live.
Shout out.
He was probably a good idea. Greg Proops didn't come down to the podcast.
Oh yeah, I would have made fun of his hair for sure.
We were so fucked up back then too. When we were doing that podcast, it's like we'd be drinking every episode. Like we couldn't even start the thing without having a beer in our hand.
Well, we were usually hungover. It was usually hungover, and you wake up at Jarrett's fucking apartment. Jarrett never had toilet paper there. we would go out to restaurants and steal fucking napkins, and that's what he had for toilet paper, sitting on top of his fucking.
Yeah, shout out to Jarrett Campbell. Jarrett Campbell is our old co-host of our other podcast.
So you wake up with like just dirty hangover fucking shits and like
that's
you're
bad.
wiping your ass with an Arby's napkin.
God.
Oh yeah, that's the
your hand is breaking through that thing. You're getting shit you're getting shit all over your hand.
Oh yeah, like an Amish chick with a fucking towel over her head. Oh man.
Just fucking brutal.
So yeah, we'd always do it on Sundays usually too. Yeah. And there's one day we were doing the podcast, we got so drunk, and that's what would happen. We'd come down. We were traveling from different towns. We don't live in Toronto, but we go to Toronto to do our podcast, and then people would see that we're in the city and go, "Oh, you want to come do our mic?" So of course we're gonna stick around because we've been drinking all afternoon.
Yeah,
jump on a mic. Well, one night. We head down to this one mic, and we're pretty buckled by that point because we've been smashing all afternoon. And it's just an open mic in Toronto. Who gives a shit, right?
Yeah.
But there's a few people there. It was the one chick from Austin Powers, one of the Austin Powers sequels, who played Robin Swallows.
She was there?
She was there, dude.
I met her?
Yeah, you met her.
I met Robin Swallows.
I think so. And then...
That's all right.
Joey Fatone. Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
So Joey Fatone from NSYNC is at the mic, and we're drinking with Joey Fatone, and he's like a super nice guy. They're in town shooting My Big Fat Greek Wedding 66 or some whatever sequel it was.
Whatever one they're on, yeah.
And Joey, Joey's being cool. He's watching all the comics, and I get up there, and I'm deer in the headlights drunk at this point. And I usually do okay if I'm drinking, but there's times, and we know it,
Yeah.
where it falls off the
The
rails.
hamster fucking falls off the wheel.
Oh, buddy. Like, I'm up there, all of a sudden, just blackout, and it's just like, yeah, deer in the headlight drunk, just forget my jokes, just blank out. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And I just bite it, tell the crowd to go fuck themselves and walk off, which is usually my reaction.
You got to make it their fault, yeah.
Yeah, it's never my fault, right? I'll never own up.
It wasn't me. Yeah.
I'll never own up to my own mistakes.
Yeah, you guys just don't know it's funny.
Fucking idiots. Yeah, I didn't even feel like doing any more jokes for you anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bombed in front of Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Yeah.
And then, so this is like, I'd say that was quite a few years ago. It would have been like 2015, maybe 2014.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago. But we have a friend who's a comedian, Jeff Paul, Jeff
Paul, he's popular right now. He plays a snow machine operator in the Canadian Tire commercials. So if you can
he's
check
Canadian
him
famous.
Out. Yeah, he runs a snowblower in the one commercial.
It's the Canadian Star System.
Yeah,
hard at work.
Good. The flannel looks really good on him.
But no, yeah, Jeff's a funny comic. He just opened for Harlan Williams, and but Jeff is a ball buster. He's a little prick, and he will admit that too. And so he's always shit talking all the time.
Yeah.
So this made me laugh really hard. Like, this would have been last year. I think I was on Facebook, and I see some thread about drinking and comedy, and Carrie Eklund, who was the comedian who is friends with Joey Fatone.
Yeah,
who had Fatone out at the open mic.
Mm-hmm.
She comes onto this thread and she goes, yeah, you don't want to get blackout drunk and do comedy, or you'll end up like that, looking like that asshole Jeff Paul, and totally embarrass yourself in front of Joey Fatone from NSYNC.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit. She thinks Jeff Paul was the one that bombed. I'm like, oh, where my bomb, Jeff Paul.
Yeah.
Where my bomb. So this is our new podcast, and I'm Tyler Morrison. This is my very good friend Tom O'Donnell and co-host, and this is the Main Offenders, and we're shooting this in lovely Muskoka, home of
fucking
Tyler Morrison.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there any famous people from here other than hockey fucking players?
There's every small town has two famous people, I think, in Canada. You got a famous NHL player, and a local retarded guy.
Yeah.
And everyone knows, right? Like, our town, we always had we had Chris King and we had Sparky.
Yeah.
And everyone knew them both, right? And then
Sparky.
like London, Ontario had the best combo though. They had Eric Lindros and Brett Lindros. Ooh.
Not so fun to be Brett.
Oh man.
When I was growing up in Brighton, Ontario, we had this guy. His name was Stormy Norm. He was a town fucking drunk.
Stormy Norm.
They'd find him passed out in the fucking snowbanks all the time, like just almost dead from hypothermia and shit. You get fucking plastered. But his brother was like a multi-millionaire, some businessman or something. And he had died, and I don't think he had any kids or anything, and he left like his fortune to fucking Stormy Norm, right?
Yeah.
So Stormy Norm, like,
business plan.
He'd only get allotted so much money a month because they knew he had mental issues and he was fucking drinking all the time.
They just dole it out like a slow morphine drip.
Pretty much. But it was the funniest. He lived right downtown Brighton, and he'd always have bonfires in his driveway all the time.
were they on purpose?
Great, he was making them on purpose, and then the fucking fire department would come out and fucking put it out, and he's like, as soon as you guys leave, I'm gonna fucking start her up again. Like, I got a whole fucking shed of wood back there, boys. So then they caught on. They just went into the back with the hoses and just soaked all the fucking wood
fuckers
on Stormy Norm.
Can't you just build a fire pit at that point?
Well, it's Stormy Norm.
He's not thinking that far ahead.
He's an eccentric millionaire now.
Is he still alive?
He went from being a bum to being an eccentric millionaire all overnight. But
he's still alive.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think the Listerine finally got him. The Listerine finally floated his liver. Yeah. Wasn't there a
Wait,
fucking...
explain Sparky.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sparky was just a mentally challenged dude. He was a nice guy. We'd get him all revved up at the hockey games and get him to go fuck with the other team's fans.
Yeah.
Just like taking a dog and winding up its tail.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would go ape shit. He went a little... I don't know. This is me talking out of school for sure, but that's what we do on here. I know he was like boarding with like friends of mine, like with their parents. They had him like taken in. Like he was, you know... He was older than a teen. He would have been early 20s. Yeah. I guess he like had some like Jesus freak out. Like was trashing the house, and yeah, they had to send him away probably to Penetang where they take people for mental health issues.
That's a fucking I've driven through that before. That Penetang. That's a creepy fucking spot. You ever see that movie Shutter Island with fucking Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. And I didn't know, because it's almost like a town. You make a little wrong turn, and there's no, like, gates at the front of it or whatever, but they have all these, like,
what were you doing
weird
there?
Houses, and there was...
Looking for pussy.
Looking for pussy.
Looking to stick my dick in some crazy.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was driving by, and, like, I seen, like...
Looking for some Penetang.
Yeah, looking for some Penetang.
It was right there. Yeah. Had to circle back.
I was just driving through, and like I seen a guy making out with a tree, and then fucking 2 seconds later, a guy just shitting in a bush, and I'm like, "Fuck, that's pretty close proximity for two fucking whack jobs to be." Like, and then my buddy was like, "Oh, this is where all the fucking whack jobs live, or whatever." I guess some of them are non-violent, so they let them fucking walk around and shit. But...
This is the most sympathetic podcast I've ever heard. Calling them whack jobs. Yeah, this is where all the Winkies live. Yeah. My dad calls them Winkies. I'm like, why do you call them Winkies? He's like, because they're always blinking. I'm like, shouldn't you call them Blinkies? He's like, no, they're Winkies.
Winkies. Those are Winkies are the things that go on the side of your eye when you wake up in the morning. I used to eat them when I was a kid. But...
Twinkies what fucking blows into your eye, buddy.
Yeah.
So you were in Penetang, and you're just up there for what?
I was doing like a road inspection job. I was inspecting all the signs with this fucking... It's a bullshit. Fuck, I don't know why they.
I hope you feel safe out there on the road.
Yeah.
This is the guy that inspects them.
I was inspecting
how many
road
car
signs.
accidents?
It was weird the one day, too. I met a lot of because you're always out walking, right? And so you're out in the public like all fucking day walking around some of these towns. And the one time I was in Kitchener, and this guy comes running up to me on the side of the street, and he looked like he was in pain. His face is fucking red, and his eyes are all bloodshot. He's like, "I need you to call an ambulance." And I was like, "Holy fuck, man, are you okay?" Like, "Yeah, I'll call you an ambulance and stuff." So they come down, the two paramedics get out, and they fucking knew this guy right off the bat. They're like, "Oh, Jesus, Ronnie, what did you do now?"
It's always a Ronnie. It's always a Ronnie.
It's always a Ronnie. Like, "What did you do now?" And then, like, I stayed there because the cops were coming or whatever, and fucking, yeah, I just stayed there. The paramedics just say, "Just stay here. We want to talk to you for a second or whatever." And then I overheard them talking. He had shoved a bunch of fucking batteries up his ass, and I guess this wasn't the first time he had done it. Apparently, either. Like,
Ronnie
he was just
keeps
like
going,
but he looked
going and going.
Yeah. He should be fucking sponsored by Energizer. Like, let's be honest. But yeah, like it's so weird though, because he fucking when he came up to, he just looked like a sick man. There's no like indicator that he was dressed normal. Like, I don't know. Some people just have weird things where they like to shove batteries out. I can understand it maybe in a sexual
What size
setting.
battery? Were they like the fucking big boppers? Or we talking like AAAs?
Didn't
just
stick around to find. Should have. I didn't want to say.
You used to lick batteries, didn't you, when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Oh, man. So... And you inspected... Was this when you were doing the bridge work, or you were inspecting... the road signs,
road signs. We had this fucking thing you put up to the sign. You like test this reflectivity or whatever to see if it's good. Now let me tell you, they were all good. probably just could have looked at him and been able to do that. But I guess it's like a write-off or whatever, because if somebody gets in an accident, they say, "Oh, I didn't see the fucking stop sign," or whatever, and then...
Yeah, it's been tested.
Yeah, it's been tested.
Tom
O'Donnell tested that
checked
fucking 6 months ago, and it was fine.
Your Honor, I'd like to call witness number 1 to the stand, Tom O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Fucking Simple Simon comes walking up to the booth.
Yeah.
Swearing on a stack of Bibles. Oh my God. Yeah. Well, you've had a couple good jobs like that though. Yeah, you used to work on. You did the bridges.
Cake. Yeah, I did. I worked on a bridge, doing construction, jackhammering. That fucking sucked.
That would be a bad job.
I tell you, it was a bad job. My hands would get stuck like this every day from holding the fucking. I couldn't open my fucking hands up.
Yeah, a lot different than playing with the Rumble Pack at home. It's
my dad's like, "This will build character."
This company that he used to work for, we figured out this like road hack when we were doing comedy. And this is greasy. So
yeah.
You can tell it.
Yeah, so I lived at the Ramada Inn in London for like fucking 2 years. Like 2 summers when I was working for this construction company. And if you just go in there, and I found this isn't a bunch of different fucking hotels. You can always try it. But if you go in and just say that you work for construction, they'll give you like a $60 room. So, and they still have me on file there. But I've done that at a couple of different places. You just go in and say you work for construction, you get a cheaper rate, like $60, not bad, right?
Because we were doing a road gig in Windsor, Ontario, and we were trying to get back to Kitchener to watch the UFC fight after our show, and it was like a big one. I forget who was going, but it was like GSP or someone. It was a main event that we wanted to catch, but we wouldn't have made it to Kitchener in time. So we're like, well, London's in between. Maybe we can get to a Boston Pizza in London because they used to show the fights. Yeah. So we call up the Ramada, which is right beside the Boston Pizza, and we pull the scheme. We get the $60 hotel, hit UFC, just get wasted, and stay in London that night.
Yeah,
it was the perfect hack.
That move. Was that when we went to the Beef Baron?
No, that was a different time. The Beef Baron.
We almost got stabbed in the parking lot of the Beef Baron.
The Beef Baron was a problem.
London, Ontario is a bad city.
London, Ontario is getting bad. When I was down there a few times ago, because I play there pretty regularly, but I saw this crackhead just fucking running down the street. I'm like, how is this guy in better shape than me? Yeah. Downtown is getting fucked. But
you know it's bad when a fucking Tim Hortons downtown shuts down. Like we're getting the fuck out of here.
We've had it.
Yeah. If Tim Hortons leaves your town, like you fucked up big time.
When the Syrian refugees that work there are like, this is too fucked up. We're going home. Like really?
Yeah.
What is wrong with these white people?
Yeah.
So circling back to the Beef Baron.
Yeah.
What is the Beef Baron?
Do you know it?
How do you almost get stabbed at the Beef Baron?
Okay, yeah. We kind of moved on from that, but we'll go. Yes. Do you know what the Beef Baron is?
No idea.
Okay, so the Beef Baron used to be. It's out of business now. It's now a high-end strip club. Boo.
Yeah.
It used to be a low-end.
Now
strip
it's
club.
beef tenderloin.
So we used to go to this strip club all the time when we would perform down there, and I was doing a show at Yuck Yucks in London. I wasn't even headlining that weekend. I think I was hosting.
And I was a bad drunk that weekend too.
Tommy was out of hand.
I was vaping in the fucking in the green. They said I could, but I was just like clouding it the fuck out, like nonstop. And I drank probably about 10 buckets of beer at each show we went to.
It was a mess.
It was bad.
And he wasn't performing. He just came down to party. Because he lives like pretty close. He's on the way. I'm like, I'm playing in London. I'm picking you up. I got a hotel. Let's get drunk.
Yeah.
And so I pick him up, and I brought my buddy Heavy. And Heavy's from up here. And Heavy's
a boozer too.
Yeah, and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
And he's got a great big. Did he have a mullet at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to have it in a ponytail, like Steven Seagal.
Yeah. He looks like a Cherokee Indian. He's gonna.
He's not native, but he does look.
He looks native. Yeah.
He will deny it. up and down, but I still swear he. Yeah. Sidebar: last time Heavy was at the studio, me and him got really drunk, and he's screaming at me at like 2 a.m. Everyone can hear. My wife's in bed; she can hear through the window. Him screaming at me. He's like, "You probably fucking voted for Justin Trudeau, didn't you, you piece of shit?" And I'm laughing so hard. I'm like, "Listen, dude, I didn't vote for Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
I voted for Jagmeet Singh."
Oh, that's even fucking.
He goes crazy. Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought he was gonna beat the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So Heavy's with us. So now things are definitely in control, right?
Yeah.
It's us 3 down there. And the Saturday night, or the Friday night, we went to the Beef Baron without incident.
Yeah,
right?
We went both nights.
No. It was the Friday night was the incident.
No, the Saturday was the incident.
Saturday's when you and I almost fought in the parking lot, each other.
No, I'm telling you right now, because I got kicked out of the show at Yuck
No.
Yucks.
That's not when the fight happened.
Okay.
Or when we almost got stabbed. It was just we were drinking.
Yeah.
And then you're like talking to these guys outside, just being like local small town bumpkin guy, being friendly with everyone. And it's late. It's about 3 a.m. And there's no good people in strip club parking lots at 3 a.m.
These guys are drug dealers.
For sure.
They were. Yeah. That's why I was talking to them.
They're crack dealers. And they start, getting into some altercation, and Tom's like, "Well, fuck, can you at least give us a ride to the hotel?" That's all I get when I come walking up, and I'm like, "These guys aren't giving us a ride to the hotel." But then the one dude starts talking some shit, and I'm like looking at him. He's not a big guy, so I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? Fuck this guy." I'm like, "Buddy, shut the fuck up." Yeah, I had enough of him too. Yeah. Next thing you know, a couple other people start coming over, but they're all not big dudes. I'm like, someone here has a gun or a knife. Because they're way too...
And sure enough.
They're being way too tough with, like, us.
Yeah.
Like, Heavy's bigger than us, man.
Yeah.
There's no way that they should be stepping...
Someone is a sneaky Swiss Army knife.
So I'm, like, trying to, like, pull us back. And Tommy's getting too wild.
Very aggressive.
It de-escalated. But if we had got... killed there or shot, like, there's no police coming. It's in like an industrial area. It's not a good place.
Yeah.
So we went back the next night. But we're at the comedy club.
But that's the night I got kicked out, because there's this kid that works at the comedy club. Well, he's not really a kid. It's our buddy Pat Tiffin. Oh, he has got Asperger syndrome or whatever like that.
It's important to bring that up.
He was getting upset with me. He was getting all weird and shit because I was drinking and vaping in the thing. He's like, "That's not very respectful." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Whatever, Rain Man, fuck off." So anyway, I got kicked out of there. And he's like, "I'm gonna call Mark Breslin and let him know fucking what you're doing down here and stuff." I was like, "Who do you think they're gonna believe? Tom O'Donnell or the little autistic boy down the street telling fibs?" So yeah, love you, Pat, but fuck off. I don't care. I'm autistic too. Why do you think I was drinking so much? I'm trying to fucking.
I get nervous.
Yeah, I get nervous, buddy. Social situations. But yeah, we went back the second night to the
I'm on stage doing my set, and my phone just starts blowing up in my pocket while I'm on stage.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on, right? And so I'm not looking at this thing because I know it's going to be something stupid. Come off stage, look at my phone. It's O'Donnell, and he's flipping his shit. He's like going off on me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? He's all mad. He's like, "I fucking got kicked out of the club, blah, blah, blah." He got kicked out because he's been buying these buckets of beer. But he's bringing them back into the green room, and we're all drinking them. It's not just him drinking 4 beers, tall boys by himself. We're drinking them too. Yeah. But the new chick who's working there, she thinks he's drinking them all by himself, so she cuts him off.
Yeah, I forget her name. Yeah.
Cunt.
Yeah.
She doesn't work there
yes,
anymore.
It was cunt. Yeah.
It's out of business. But anyway, he gets kicked out for that. But as he's getting kicked out, I guess it was the acting manager, not the regular manager, but her her like kind of assistant, who it was her, that was her weekend that she was running the club. She comes up, she's like, "Oh yeah, and I Googled you, and you don't even work with Yuck Yuck's comedy chain." And he's like, "Fuck you, I opened for Russell Peters, bitch." I make more money than all those fucking guys. Yeah, maybe at your welding job.
Yeah.
But
holy fuck.
so he's big dogging and just popping off. It's a whole thing. And listen, she's a nice girl, but she wasn't. He shouldn't have got kicked out. It was a misunderstanding. But he was.
I should have got kicked out.
Listen,
yeah.
I'm trying to fucking advocate for you.
Yeah.
But Tommy is pretty buckled. And he's blowing me up. And he's yelling at me through the text. He's like, I'm going to the fucking bear. And I'm like, all right, I'll see you there in a minute. Like, let me just, I have to go back
on stage right now.
yeah, I should have answered the phone when I was on stage. But it was texts that were coming. So we go down to the Baron afterwards. And just a little description of the Baron. So if you've ever seen... It was Tom Segura's first Netflix special.
I remember this joke.
He talks about a strip club. He calls it Beef.
Yeah.
He doesn't call it the Beef Baron. Not sure why he didn't call it by its real name. Maybe he was worried about a lawsuit or whatever. Or he just thought it sounded funnier just calling it Beef.
Just word economy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it might have just been funnier to him. But the Beef Baron is the strip club that he was working at. That he went to when he was working in London. Because Rob Mayhew... brought him to London, yeah. So we knew all about this bit before it even was on Netflix. But anyway, the Beef Baron, it's just it would have been like a C level club, C-. I give it a C-. But the thing is, you could request the songs for the girls to dance to, and it's so funny because the girls they're 20 years old and they want to listen to they want to dance to Drake or some shit, and we're just requesting 80s hair rock. We're like, fucking dance to the Scorpions.
Girls.
Dance to Motley Crue. And put on Warrant Cherry Pie again. Just being such dickheads. And they are hating us. But when I show up to the Beef Baron, my brother-in-law was rolling with me, and he had a couple girls that he was friends with. So they were at the show. We all go down to drink after.
Yeah.
Walk in, and Tommy's just sitting in the Beef Baron, holding court like Jabba the fucking Hutt with a bunch of strippers just chained to him, but they're these big black girls. We're talking
hell yeah,
Medea.
Hell yeah.
He's got a couple Medeas. He's got a fucking Lizzo.
Yeah.
Precious on the other arm.
Yeah.
He's rolling deep. But he's talking a big game. He's sitting there like a fat cat. And he's promising them a better life. He's gonna whisk them away.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just a mess. Yeah, and then we almost got into a fight. We were just talking some shit.
I found out those are probably my buddy Reed Price's cousins after that fact. I'm
glad I called them Precious. Lizzo.
My buddy, I asked Reed, I'm like, Reed, you ever go down, because he's from London, I asked him, you ever go down to the Beef Baron or whatever? He's like, oh man, all my cousins work there. I'm like, the door. No, strippers. He's like, I used to burn CDs for them when they go up on stage.
I thought you were saying you used to burn cigarettes on them.
He's like, that was my first job, was burning CDs for my stripper cousin.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, that would make sense. That would make sense. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get into a thing and we're mad at each other. So I'm like, fuck you, Tom. We gotta go. So we step outside and we're squared up in the parking lot, and he's really drunk. I'm not really that drunk. I don't really want to fight, but I have to because he's said some stupid shit.
Yeah.
And then Tom realizes he said some stupid shit. He's like, fuck, man, I'm so fucking sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta get a hold of yourself.
Start crying.
You gotta get a hold of yourself, brother. So we're just slow dancing in the parking lot. Just a big embrace. And then I'm like, let's go back in. We go back in, and the doors are locked. We can't get back into this. No, we can't get back into the Beef Baron.
Yeah. I've done way worse shit. Remember when I almost burnt down the fucking whole neighborhood here?
Oh, God.
When I was all hammered?
Yes. Yeah.
We were having a fucking little bonfire out there, and Tyler had a bunch of leaves that he had raked up and been sitting in his garage all fucking summer, nice and dried out. There was a fire ban on, and I went and whipped that shit on the fucking so that fucking kindling shit is like just the floating leaves on fire all over this place.
There's trees hanging over too. It could have easily.
Oh yeah. Luckily, your neighbor there is
My neighbor's a
firefighter. Yeah. He came over and let us know that wasn't a proper thing to be doing during the fire ban. That was pretty.
He was pretty sweet though. Yeah, that
You're
was
gonna punch me out for anything. That would have been the thing right there.
That was a raging inferno. Yeah.
No, you were pushing the action. You told me to do it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because we burned my wife's stuff that she had. What was it? They're like she had like what did she have like those craft things?
Oh yeah, a bunch of fucking Blair Witch crafts. That
just some shit she got at Michael's or whatever. That she never used it, right?
Yeah,
she never she got them and then never did anything with them. They're just these knickknacks just sitting around.
Well, like
gonna have an art
straw and
they're like these long. Yeah, it was these tall. I don't know what were they. They're like
wicker men or something.
Yeah,
like that. A lot of wicker shit.
Yeah, we had our own Burning Man in the back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Tom, let's just fucking light these up. Dude.
Yeah.
Fuck this. So we just burn them. My wife, I want to say like 3 weeks later, she's like, have you seen the wicker?
Yeah.
No, baby, I don't know. So it's okay. She'll never watch this.
That's a good thing about being a country piece of shit. You can get rid of anything you want. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, just burn the
people in Toronto just have their fucking balconies
Stephen
stocked
Avery
with all this shit. Just fucking
making a murderer.
Have some beers and a fire.
Yep.
Get rid of it.
Yep, take it to the junkyard.
Get rid of the fucking evidence. I love a good trip to the junkyard.
Oh man. So after the beef baron though, Tommy and I we cool everything out. We're friends again. And this is just part of like Tom's cycle of drinking. It goes from like the best times ever, and it's just like it's always a good time.
Yeah.
And then it rolls into Tom starts talking some shit, and he's he's getting mad about other people.
Yeah.
Then he starts talking shit to you.
Yeah.
And starts telling you everything that's fucking wrong with you. You know what?
Maybe start pushing you a little bit.
And he's saying he'll say the meanest thing he can. Whatever he can say to hurt you,
yeah,
he will say. And it's not a good thing. And you have to if you're not used to it, it's definitely pretty confrontational.
Yeah.
And then he starts kind of trying to fight you.
Yeah.
And then he starts crying.
Yeah.
And then he loves you.
And
again.
I say sorry.
And it's the circle of life. This is his cycle of drunk. I've drank with him so many times. I know. Sometimes I'm like, hey, it's time to beat it. Tommy's.
But sometimes I fucking default, just go to sleep and completely piss the bed.
Well, that's the end of the cycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
happens.
So we go back though to the hotel after the beef baron, and Tommy somehow goes back into the old part of the cycle. Like there's a skip on the CD or something. So he starts losing it, punches the mirror in the hotel room like it's like a giant full length floor to ceiling mirror. Punched it with his hand, shatters the glass, cuts his hand up everywhere, bleeds all over the white duvet. This is a hotel room that the comedy club's paying for me.
Yeah.
My name is on this shit. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I'm not even headlining that weekend.
I think I bled all over the bed or something too. Didn't
I? Yeah, you did. You bled all over the bed.
We didn't wrap it up.
No,
it was probably 10 times worse. Too,
they cleaned it up.
Drunk.
They're good.
It's
London. They're used to.
Didn't I call them and tell them I have a bad scab on my leg and I fucking.
No,
that's what I said when never mind. We won't tell that story.
Why not?
That one's too bad.
Really?
Well, I guess, that was years ago.
That's not too bad. You
can
tell that story?
Yeah.
So, I have a comedy festival that I produce. It's called
Cottage Country Comedy Festival.
Just a wonderful festival, and it's a lot of...
it's very quaint.
It's, fun, small town
vibes.
And, we get pretty fucked up at it. That's when Tom almost...
All the town hooers come out to see you.
Yeah. So Tom ends up picking up this local girl and brings her back to my home.
Yeah.
This is before.
Where else am I going to go?
I didn't have kids.
Too cheap of a fucking prick to rent me a hotel. I have to stay on his couch.
Not good enough of a comedian for me to rent a hotel.
Yeah.
So he brings this girl back, and we're all partying in the basement, and he takes her into like the spare bedroom, and he dings her in there. You can tell the story though, because there's more to it. I think.
I made love to her. Fucking Rob May was watching me through the fucking basement window the whole time.
Yeah.
Sorry, Douglas.
I've heard this story from a third party
Yeah.
that was not involved.
Oh, you've heard that from someone else?
Yes.
Douglas Pumpkin was watching me. I don't know what he was doing, but
He was outside. Yeah, it was like raining, so like I could just picture like you're banging her, and then like there's like lightning strikes.
I think
and
he
you
was
look up and
trying-
just see his face
yeah,
outside the window. Oh yeah, he was creep crawling.
I
up.
think he was trying to get her before me or something like that, and
Yeah, you sniped.
yeah, I sniped. Top fucking cheese. Anyways, no, I'm just
Who's the fucking boss, Mayhew?
boss
Who's
now?
the boss?
Yeah. But anyways, yeah. Then like turn on the lights after, and it just looked like a fucking Jeffrey Dahmer murder scene in there. Like, holy fuck, like blood all over the place. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man. And I'm already not fucking really welcome here in the most. I've
He's already.
pissed on the couch a couple times. Have I?
Yeah, no, not
Or
on the,
no, I never pissed the couch
You
here.
pissed yourself on the floor, and then my wife came downstairs, and you were just like laid down on the floor in like a puddle of piss.
Yeah,
So she wasn't too happy about that.
yeah, that wasn't good.
Tom was like borderline banned from our house.
Yeah,
and
borderline.
This secured the ban.
Yeah, this secured
This
the ban.
secured the ban.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it looked like a house of horrors.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I'm like, holy fuck, man. I'm trying to scramble. I took all the sheets off the bed and I like hid them, I think. Like in the laundry room or whatever. And I got a whole plan, like, oh, I'm gonna go down to Walmart tomorrow and get them fucking new sheets and shit. No one's gonna fucking know. And I just went out and ended up getting hammered all day, and I didn't do that. And Jenna found the sheets or whatever, and I bought your wife some knickknacks from that place your mom was working at.
The place
A
bought some
candle
knickknacks,
holder.
then we burned them a couple of years
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah,
that.
those are the same ones.
I got her some wicker.
I got her some wicker ornament. Oh no! Survived it all.
But that's what this podcast is going to be about, is us talking about all this stuff. And, like, this is just
Bad stuff.
tip of the iceberg. And when we bring guests on, we're going to get them to,
I feel like we've calmed down a lot.
we're uncovering the, we know where the bodies are buried.
We're in the
comedy,
light years.
and
Or
they're
the-
all in our backyard. So that's what this is. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. And
Thank you.
make sure you follow us on social media. Tom O'Donnell, what's your handle?
It's Tom O'Donnell 0405.
Thanks for making it really, really easy.
There's a lot of Tom O'Donnells out there, and I'm not the most fucking popular one. Apparently. Some
Your
prick who
Instagram's
plays the
private, too.
spoons in fucking
Your
Ireland.
Instagram's private.
Yeah, I don't know how to do
That's
that.
because of all the
Yeah.
All the
getting
horrors.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can follow me, Tyler Morrison 123 on Instagram, and for my live shows. And Tommy and I were touring together, so check out tylermorrison.ca. You can check out all of our live dates. And yeah, make sure you follow, comment, subscribe, do all that shit. Make sure you leave a comment. That helps us on YouTube. And thanks for checking us out.
Yes, sir.